Welcome to the CouncilCast. This is episode 289, being recorded on March 5th, 2024. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit.
Random shit? Dear God.
With little background and absolutely no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever. Welcome to the EchoCast.
EchoCast.
This week we are starting off with a little bit of toilet humor for you, because nothing's funnier than farts. Exactly. But what's not funny is shit getting thrown all over your bathroom when you flush your toilet, which apparently doesn't matter whether you flush with your lid open or closed.
What?
Yeah.
How I understand this to be is you should definitely be flushing with the lid closed.
The lid must be down. Or
Apparently
your
this
mouth
article
must
is
be
saying
open when you flush.
that it doesn't matter.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It just blows poop out the sides.
It still blows poop out the sides.
Dope.
Yep.
It's not a tumor.
Well, in that case, we should just remove the toilet seat lid altogether then.
So, yeah, you certainly could. So this study apparently said, or not, they also checked like public toilets that have no lids, and they said that actually having no lid is definitely worse.
Oh.
Altogether.
Get on down to Real Fake Doors.
God
Check this
damn
out. Won't open. Won't open.
That's what I'm hoping for with my toilet seat at some
Every
point.
fucking side. Won't open. Won't open.
But yeah, they do say that it does decrease the droplets. But as far as spreading contamination and bacteria, closing the lid does not actually totally eliminate or reduce
And we brush our teeth in
the
there.
spread. Yeah, you probably store your toothbrush in there too.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, I eat right off the counter in my bathroom, so.
What I do with my toothbrush is I have a little special holder inside of the top container part of the toilet. It's the only place where poop's not flying. It doesn't sit in the
Inside
water
the
in there.
toilet.
It's just a little shelf.
So what are we
Little
supposed to
shelf
do,
inside there.
Blaine? I mean, just deal with it, or
Actually, they do give a solution. They did say that they tested not only flushing but also how you clean the toilets. And apparently, what they said is that a rigorous cleaning of the toilet bowl brush and with Lysol reduced the contamination by 99.99%.
Oh, wow.
I've seen that on the can.
So don't just clean your toilet with the brush. Clean it with the brush and Lysol. So
How often?
Was the study sponsored by Lysol, or did Lysol just do the study?
It's on Lysol.com.
probably. I don't know. I'm gonna just go with probably after every time you flush.
Hmm.
It doesn't say how often you should do that.
You should clean your toilet every time you use it, theoretically.
Oh, here they did. Here, actually, here's the quote. As it says, with the addition of disinfectant every time you flush, or before flushing, actually. So before you flush, you should actually clean it,
I don't
and then you
think
can
that's
flush it, and you're better.
realistic.
I mean,
Sorry,
imagine
Logan,
how much more Lysol they'll be able to sell by
Just
having everybody
put-
brush before they flush.
Put your toothbrush in some sort of container and get over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well
Or-
said. That's
or
the
clean
title
your
of the
toilet.
episode. Put your toothbrush in a container and get over it.
I mean, come on, who's going to actually clean their toilet
Every single day.
After-
I mean,
every single before you flush?
Well, there is that product Poopery, and a lot of people will
That's
do that
not-
to keep the smell down. But I think that if you sold a similar product that was spray before you use the toilet or right after, and you just have it sit on the back of the thing. Two in the
There you
toilet,
go.
one in the mouth, and then you're good to go. Logan, have you guys seen Kunk on Earth?
Yes.
Netflix special.
Yeah.
Logan just started watching it. And so he's messaging me all kinds of stuff. And he just texts me, "Are you the real Galileo or just an actor one?"
Actor Galileo.
I'm neither.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to vote. I'm going to say down with toilets that spray poop all over your bathroom.
Maybe somebody was on to having the toilet stored in its own little bathroom toilet closet,
Oh,
separate
yeah.
from the rest of the bathroom. So
I've got
That's
it.
not a bad
I've got it. I've got it.
I'm gonna go thumbs down for getting rid of that trend.
Saran wrap.
And
After
I
you
missed
go.
I missed most of the conversation up until now, until I heard saran wrap. But I'm gonna tell you, you shouldn't use saran wrap for whatever you were thinking of using it for.
That's what she said.
That's what she should say.
Well, something that you don't need to worry about flushing though is the water on Saturn's tiny moon Mimas, because it apparently has an ocean under it as well.
Mima,
Wait,
How do we know
there are
this?
oceans in space?
does Saturn have another
There's literally
moon?
everything in space, Morty. Now get the back in the car.
Does Saturn have another moon called Peepaw?
Probably. I mean, Saturn's got like a million moons, so.
Does Saturn have a moon called Poo Poo?
Poo poo pee pee?
How do they know that there's an ocean underneath there? How do they know this?
Same way that we know we landed on the moon, Brian.
They actually talk explicitly about that because they didn't think that this actually had a ocean underneath the surface, based on the fact that it was pretty small and the surface itself has a lot of pockmarks on it. But what they were able to
That's what she
discover-
said.
God damn it. What they did find is that the moon seemed to be tidally locked to something, which would tend to indicate that there is a moving fluid underneath the surface. But the thing that was odd is that, unlike some of the other moons around Saturn that have oceans underneath them, it did not recreate the surface like those did. So,
So
they're
they're
relatively
guessing.
confident.
Got it.
They're relatively confident there's an ocean underneath there, but
Okay. I'm better with relatively confident that it is instead of we absolutely know.
I mean, as soon as we send somebody to the moon and drill in there and find out, I don't think we'll know 100%, Brian.
Okay.
Would
Somebody
you sign
or
up for
some bot.
Somebody.
T.
I don't know if we can trust the bots.
Yeah, they'll send back useless information. I can't tell if I'm wet. Can't tell if I'm wet.
Is this water? Is this
this-
water?
Technically, we don't
yeah,
have
I'm
a
not-
sense for wet. We can detect if it's cold or if it's slippery, but we can't tell if something is wet. We don't have a
For
actual
humans?
for humans.
Yeah. Yep.
So-
The worst case is when you're trying.
So
to
we'll never
if
know if
your
there's an
laundry
ocean
is
under that
dry.
moon because we won't know if it's. We won't be able to tell if anything's wet.
Can't tell.
Can't
guess
tell.
maybe we
I
do
can't
need to
even
bring
tell
a
if we
bot
have an
with us.
ocean on this planet, or if it's just like this weird. Who knows? The whole thing might be flat.
There also might not be space. I don't know.
You never know.
There's literally everything in space,
Well,
Morty.
yeah.
Get the back in the car.
If there's no space, what is it that we're looking at then? I mean, based on the flat Earth and
More
all of
space,
those.
different space.
It is.
My space.
Earth is flat, but the rest of the universe has orbs and round things. Just
Oh
we're-
yeah, that's super convenient though, right?
yeah. I mean, we're the anomaly.
Oh,
We're the center of the universe.
all right. We're the anomaly, and we're relatively confident that there's water under the moon
Look.
outside of Jupiter.
I mean,
Look,
sure.
we are the center of the universe. Look, it points down at the ground. We're the center. Got it?
You don't know how many times I've checked that thing this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with thumbs up for just moons here. Moons seem
Hey.
pretty cool.
Thumbs up for moons.
Thumbs up for just guessing what's out there.
Well, fair enough. Well,
Fair enough.
something you don't have to guess for is how much it now costs to play NVIDIA's GeForce Now free tier. That'll be coming out relatively soon, where you can now watch ads before you play your video games. Or
Well, I
who
love
knows,
that.
maybe get
Always
interrupted with
pays
ads
his
in the middle of a
debts.
game. Yes.
What was the last thing you said?
Well, so NVIDIA is rolling out, I think, Silas, you were signed up for this for a while, their GeForce Now
Yeah.
game streaming platform.
Yep.
And they're now going to be coming out with a free tier that you don't have to pay for, but it will be ad supported. So
So you have to watch a bunch of ads before you play.
Well, that's what I'm not sure about. Like, are they going to make you watch ads before you play, or like, are they just going to like randomly interrupt your gameplay and be like, "Hey, here's a new ad,"
No.
like your TV does?
No, they'll be able to interject ads in between gameplay. That's in before
That's
you
what I'm
sign up.
thinking.
You have to
Can you
watch like a
imagine?
a bunch of ads before you can play.
Can you imagine that you're just about ready to make the final move on some game and they stop you with an ad? That would be.
I can't imagine that, but I'm a right brain dominant with a propensity for make believe. So
What's that from?
Ted Lasso.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's an interesting way to get it out there. I mean, what is the base tier pricing on it? Like $20 a month or something right now?
I don't know. I stopped paying
I don't
for it a while
remember.
ago because I was like, well, I have my PlayStation and like this is not, and then it stopped working as well.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, it kind of I was like, it's lagging a lot. Oh, it's dropping. Oh, it's not they have way too many users for the amount of support because they finally up to 4090s. And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I want a 4090 without having to pay for that." And so they had tons of really fast stuff, but where are you showing us? I can't see. Pull it over to the center. Oh yeah. See? We are the center of the universe. There it is. Sorted. Nailed it.
And it's still 26,000 light years from here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it's $10 a month for the basic one. But yeah, they now do have but it's only limited to an hour session length, so you can watch an ad and play for an hour.
Got it. That makes sense. And then
I'm
you log
so
out,
irritated.
You log back in and have to watch another ad. Yeah.
Well, what
I
the
mean,
basic Prime,
probably.
basic Prime movie stuff and basic Netflix now has ads, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Sucks.
But that's like a $7 a month thing.
Yeah, this one's free to be fair, so
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind the premise of like our entire
Thumbs
TV,
up, free enterprise.
Our entire TV system is based off of watching ads. Everyone in the UK is like, yeah, we don't watch ads over here. We're not a bunch of guppies just watching ads like a bunch of idiots. I'm like, yeah, you're paying a tax for your to have a television in your house every month, and then you're paying for cable on top of that. And
I'm sure our taxes subsidize the infrastructure in some way that we don't get to benefit from.
it does.
And they would claim that we benefit from it by it being lower priced.
Yeah, it's not. The capitalism is made sure of that, but we're not paying taxes on owning a television
Oh, no. I mean, you pay taxes for the television.
for the sale of it, but you don't pay the government monthly to have one in your house.
Hold on. What?
In the UK, to have not even have it connected to watch something, having one in your house, you have to pay taxes on it.
How
And
do
you-
they know I have a television in my house?
How does Big Brother know anything?
Is it
I
the
don't
honor
know.
system?
I don't know if it's honor system or if they literally have people.
What if I pay for TV service to my house just to pay for TV service to my house? I don't have a television. I just do it because I like it.
Well, then they will send
Wait,
the
so if I have a
arbiter
TV in
around.
my house that I use to play my Xbox 360 on,
Yep.
and I have no TV service,
Correct.
I have no antennas, I just have
Correct.
a television in my house.
Yep.
I have to pay an extra tax to the government. I don't believe you.
I know it's stupid. I
That's
asked them about it so many
insane.
times. I was like, how do they know? And they're like, well,
How
you
do
don't
they
wanna
know?
get caught. They don't. You don't want to get caught. 'cause
I have
that's a
so
really
many
big-
questions. How do you know? Wait, how is this a thing? What do they mean? Oh, you don't want to get caught with the bootleg TV. What do you mean bootleg TV? I can't have. That would be like, man, I can't even think of a good example. That would be like me having to pay
The
extra
easiest
taxes.
thing would be for them to just add the tax to the TV sale price when you buy it. Like,
That's what they
that'd be
should
the
do.
easiest way to do
They-
it.
If they want to
Yeah.
do a
you're
tax.
you're taxed for the sale of it,
Right.
but then you're taxed for having it in your house too.
That would be
You
like pick
still
any
have
object in your house.
Taxes for owning
Any object
a
that you get,
TV.
like, I mean, some things it makes sense to pay recurring taxes on, like property taxes. Like, I understand that. That's how the jurisdictions generate revenue.
Do you know why the UK does that, Silas?
No,
As
I'm
of
very
January
curious.
2022, the license fee is 159 pounds for a color and 53 for a black and white television TV.
Just physically having the television. What if you? Is it per television?
Yeah.
What? I have like 5 televisions in my house.
It's almost entirely to fund the BBC. That's
Yeah, it looks like this is a license fee for the BBC to basically operate.
Are you sure that it's not only if you have some sort of service provided?
no, yeah, it's if you own it.
How do they assess that fee?
I think that.
They-
Oh, you know what? My guess.
I
be
would
if
just
you-
never tell them I have a television. I would not tell them it's
go
a
buy the
television. I would tell them it's a
people who
monitor.
the people who sell the television probably have to take your information down to be able to sell you the TV.
That's fucking insane.
That'd be hilarious if you have to have like a waiting period before you buy a TV, like guns in
This
America.
is why there's a gap between our liberals and their liberals, because
Are
I'm as
you
liberal as it
sure?
gets here, and
Okay,
I think
so
that's the
you
most
wanna buy-
insane thing I've ever fucking heard.
Are you sure you want to buy a TV? You're going to be
Well, you
taxed
wouldn't
every year.
steal a car. You wouldn't steal food. So you.
This
shouldn't
includes the
steal
children we were
television.
keeping in cages at the border. This is more insane than that.
Okay, so it is not per
hold
TV. It is
on.
a per household. It is a per household fee.
Oh, not per
it's-
television.
So it's assessed
Not
per
per
house.
television.
Is it assessed whether you have a television or not?
So it is assessed. You have to pay it if you watch or record programs as they're being shown live on any
I do
TV
not.
channel.
Oh,
you
watch
watch
yes,
program-
record no.
If you watch programs live on any online TV service, for example, Channel 4, YouTube, or Amazon Prime,
So this
or
isn't tied to
if
the
you
physical
download
TV
or watch
object.
any BBC programs on BBC iPlayer. So
This isn't
no, it is
tied
not
to the
tied
physical.
TV. It's
Jesus
just-
Christ, thank you. Because what Silas was saying was making my brain have an
This was
absolute.
well.
meltdown.
Hold on. In all fairness, this is the way it was explained to me in 2009. So
Well,
They
Maybe
made it
that's
at
the
a
way
pub.
it was then. But
At
like,
a
how,
pub at
there's
2 in the morning.
no way to assess that. The
At a
only
pub at
sane
2 in the
way,
morning, yeah.
the only sane way to assess that.
it was
tax-
very loud there. I couldn't hear everything the guy was saying. I'm just trying to
Wait, wait.
repeat what I heard the man
So-
say.
after 5
here's
pints,
the
you're like,
deal.
wait a minute. Tell me that one more time.
You do have to pay the tax whether or not you watch BBC programming, though, or not. So if you never watch BBC programming, you are still paying the fee to BBC, to the government.
Man, it's
So
like
that
paying
is not unlike
taxes
any
in your
other
neighborhood
taxes
for
we have.
kids
Yes.
to go to school. And if you don't even have kids,
Yes,
it's like
correct.
America.
Correct.
Yes. That's
like America.
fine. I can stomach this because it's tied to the service, not the television. It wouldn't
Correct.
make any sense whatsoever for me to pay a tax for every television in my house if none of them received any signal whatsoever, and all were just
Wait,
used
okay.
for playing
Let me Google
Xboxes
this.
locally.
Hey, Matt.
Did
Matt,
you use?
what if you have the service and you stream everything on a tablet and you don't even have a TV, but you still have to pay the tax?
Well, that's what I'm still okay with that because it's tied to the service funding. Like, it is more bullshit in that way. Like, if you're not doing it on the device, but like it gets to the point that they can't distinguish like which device.
True that
Like,
people
are you
usually
watching
have
on a
to
TV versus
pay
a tablet? But it's to
basically
pay for
property
BBC
tax
content, so
every
you
year
could still
for
watch.
Yeah.
The thing that's actually most bullshit isn't what you just said. The thing that's most bullshit is that you have to be assessed the tax, even if you watch no BBC programming.
Correct.
But that to me falls under the same thing that you just said, where I'm willing to accept that because I accept things like I pay, if I didn't have any children, I'd still pay for school tax. I can't opt out of that. I'm sure people without children would love to opt out of that in like a piecemeal taxation sort of situation.
That's even more widespread because I don't even have kids and I have to pay for them.
Right.
All right.
Like, I mean, ideally,
awesome.
I only want to pay taxes
Mystery topic.
to the school system while my kids are in it, right? I don't give a shit once they're out. Like,
Mystery.
but anyway, okay. I
Yeah,
feel better about
it's kind of like when I'm working in a different county and they want me to donate to the county.
I mean,
of
I was about to
whatever
start up
thing.
a company that made essentially televisions, but called them something else. This is a monitor.
Magic mirrors.
This is a monitor. It can't even receive a TV signal. It's just a
hilarious.
monitor.
It's just a mirror.
So then,
A
like,
magic
now
mirror.
A magic mirror that reflects things from the BBC.
God, man, I was spun all the way up to about as high
Well,
as I can be
this
spun.
to be fair, I think the people I was talking
Silas
to
was just
could have
going
been
all
confused
in on
about
it.
it. I acted the same way you did, and they're like, "Yeah, no, it's you have to pay a tax for every TV that you own." And I was like, "You can't be serious." And they're like, "No, we're serious." And now I realize that I could have just
In that
Googled it.
moment, you were never more American. You're like, thank God I live in this country.
Yeah, I was
Like,
like,
I'm
"Thank
not
goodness!"
paying a
Like,
tax.
I get to.
I
get to
have no
watch
problem
TV.
with taxes. That's what's funny is I have no problem with taxes.
have
This
a
one seemed insane.
Yeah, it did.
So the tax
It was
fee
so
is
frustrating.
$170 a year. So
Okay, that's fine.
it's not
I mean, it's
cheap. But
it would be the equivalent of if every single maybe they do this. It would be the equivalent of if any TV service you purchased levied a fee to fund NPR or what PBS,
Oh, sure.
whatever, the public broadcasting one. Like,
Actually,
So they
I would
didn't-
prefer that.
yeah, of
to
course. I
all
don't
of
want
the
them to have to
stupid-
beg for money.
I
Like,
know they beg for money all the time.
I would rather paying TV customers be paying like that fee, amortized yearly or whatever, like spread out across the year, and that fund that stationing instead, because that's what the BBC is essentially, right? Like it's just the public broadcasting.
Well, I mean, it's a little more than that, isn't it?
It's a
well,
little
yeah,
more
their news is like
because
way
they're
more
well
than that.
funded.
Yeah.
they produce things like Doctor Strangelove or Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Well, they can do all that because they charge $150 a television per fucking No,
Yeah.
that's
Per month.
Wow. I'm gonna have nightmares about this tonight. I can feel it.
Well, one thing you don't have to have nightmares about is
Can you imagine? It can't be that crazy for a household to have like 4 televisions. like one in the bedroom, one in the living room. Okay, maybe like 3 would be more normal. But you're paying like
no, for real though, yeah.
you're paying like $700 a year if it were per television just to have the television. What about the ones in the closet? They're not plugged in. I've got I've had 2 televisions just sitting in the basement before that I don't use. Like they're old like Dynex televisions. Like
Well, I guarantee
So
you,
they-
if
they
they
do-
figured out how to tax you on individual TVs, you'd be getting rid of some of those old lamos sitting in the basement.
that's
not
true.
plugged
That's
in.
true. I'd be incentivized to recycle them.
So they do distinguish between color and black and white TVs. So if you
Still.
only watch on black and white TVs,
Yeah,
you
I
pay
don't
different
have a
fee.
black and white television. Is it even possible?
But you know,
to get-
honestly,
what if you put it
you
in
can
black and
watch-
white mode?
Yeah, I promise not
You-
to use color.
I
You
don't
can
know.
watch most British shows. You can watch in black and white, and it doesn't degrade the quality of what you're trying to see. So
Do they
I think it would be
do
fine.
they distinguish between black and white, or do they just like will they let you use like monochrome? Like what if I individually remove every single if it's a TV that has RGB pixels, what if I get rid of all the B pixels and just have the 2 that can show it? Like technically
don't
it's
know.
color, but it's really only 2 colors. It's not black and white.
I wouldn't want to watch
I
that.
have no idea.
It's
Actually,
just
I wonder how they.
I'm
I wonder how they
interested
figure
in
that out,
that.
though. I wonder how they figure out if you have a color or a black and white TV.
Maybe
How do
they
they
just
figure any of this out?
turn off. I don't know.
Well, it's easy. You should pay it on your you would pay it on your cable or your satellite bill. Like that's all. That's like if that's not how this is done, then I don't know how they.
I've asked about it. They're like, well, you have to pay the tax. It's like,
Oh, this is
who's
also similar to
monitoring
like
this.
if you say I put solar on my house, right? Most places do net metering solar, right? Like. So if I have enough solar on my house to cover 100% of my usage all the time, and that's never in question, I still have to pay the
How to pay for
grid
TV
maintenance
licensing?
fee.
in
So
the UK.
the license
Call
you
us
have to pay
or pay
yeah,
online.
You actually have
It
to
is
pay the
not through the
government
TV
directly.
provider.
It is
What?
not through TV. Nope.
What?
You have to literally buy the license from the government to be able to say I can get live TV from
My
the streaming.
God.
Oh,
Okay,
you have to
so
have the
wait.
license. You have
wait.
to have the license first, and then you can contact.
So
with your
you have
license
to
number
like
the TV
upload this.
station.
Wait
You
a
have to
minute.
give
You
that
have to get a
like,
license?
your provider.
Do you
or
have
else
to take
the
a test to get this license?
Bro, and they make fun of our healthcare system. And this is the way they watch television.
What was Lucy eating on the conveyor belt? In I Love Lucy. Chocolate candy. Yes. Question number 1. Question
Oh, if
number
you're-
2.
If you're legally blind, you also can get it discounted by 50%.
Because you're only using 50% of your senses for it. Amazing. That's my favorite so far. Man, being born blind in the UK.
I have to
really
be
is
licensed to
better.
watch TV.
Except for,
Is that
we
right?
have-
Is that
we
what you're
have-
saying?
We have the ADA here.
You have to be licensed to watch TV. The government has to license you to watch TV.
So like that's one of the
You do
things.
have to pass a test.
So
Pass the
Silas,
test.
I don't know if you've experienced this while traveling. But
TV
I've seen
trivia.
people talk about it on Reddit before.
Yeah.
Is that one of the things we did right here is the ADA. Like if you go to Europe and like their preservation of all their 1500-year-old buildings or from like whatever years, you're just like, how does anyone that's disabled use this shit? Like,
Not well.
Out of
Anyway, so
necessity,
yeah,
there
it
are
looks
less
like you
disabled
do-
people in the UK because they just.
I
can't
am
be
floored that
disabled.
you don't just pay this to your provider.
I'm
No,
for
you-
it.
Although
paid
you
all.
couldn't, because if you had like two providers that
Yeah.
that
How would you-
push
how would you do
that
that,
push
yeah.
the content, how would you do it? So
Well, I already paid it on
so
the other
what?
company.
So
Wow, think about this. The
So
cops come in
so
your
what-
house, bust into your house, Matt, and they go, "Let's see your license."
no, god damn it, I won't. Blaine is the only one actually learning about this, so I want to hear from him. Like what? So
got a lot of
Police over there. They
got a
go
lot of
knocking
use
door
case.
to door.
Shut the fuck up. So I moved to the UK and I'm renting an apartment and I have a television and I'm like, damn, here's my television provider. I don't know who it
You'd
is
be
in the
leasing
UK.
a flat.
Rogers.
Go
No, who's the UK? Yeah, leasing a
I
flat.
have
My
no
bad.
idea.
You also don't have air conditioning.
Leasing a
and
flat
Your
right down the
washer dryers in
right down
your
the,
kitchen.
right down the hall from my mates.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come over, but I charge them to help subsidize the fee because they don't have TV at their house.
You also have on-demand hot water.
Yeah, that's true. So if I pay for like their equivalent of like Cox cable television,
Yeah.
Yep.
Sky.
okay,
Sky
thanks.
TV,
See,
there you
Silas
go.
knows all this. I pay for Sky TV, and that's not just on my bill. Like
Correct.
I have to go to them and say, "Hey, I want to be able to watch live television. Here's my redress number or my TSA known traveler number." And then they like put a little flag on your account that then allows you to watch television live.
I don't know
I
exactly
don't know.
the
I asked
technicalities
one of my buddies
behind
about
it.
it, and he was like, "Yeah, you have to pay
But
tax." I was like, "How does it work?" And he's
technically-
like, "I don't know. You pay the tax." I was like,
So it
Surely
says
they
it
have
on-
over the air shit, right? Do they not have over the air television like we do? How do they do that? Like
don't
I have,
know
like if I
they
have,
actually do.
do they not?
I don't know.
Like if I have a digital, I have a digital television. I can get just channels. I don't pay for those channels. Like I'm sure I do in some way, but I don't go
That's-
pay.
"That's stealing TV in the
No,
UK."
it's not.
In the UK.
Oh, in the UK.
Yeah, you're stealing television.
Hmm.
You wouldn't steal. You wouldn't rob.
The best part about that
We've got an
commercial,
IT
you wouldn't,
crowd.
you
Ooh,
wouldn't,
these
you wouldn't,
anti-theft
you
commercials are
wouldn't
really getting
download a car.
heavy-handed.
Is that you absolutely would download a car if you could, and people do. They 3D print them now. Like,
Let's see here. I want to watch this.
man, I can't believe we spent this much time on this. I just am like that up in arms about it.
And usually you don't get up in arms around anything,
I
Matt.
know. I'm usually pretty calm about pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing they do have over-the-air stuff, but I'm gonna guess so. The way that it's written is that it is against the law to install or use a television receiver to watch or record any television programs as they're being broadcast live without a TV license.
Okay, so that is pretty unenforceable.
It says there's approximately 70 free-to-air channels in the UK that you can watch.
Right.
So they're free-to-air channels, but you can't watch them on your TV legally without a license from the government.
You wouldn't steal a handbag.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a baby. You wouldn't shoot a policeman and then steal his helmet. You wouldn't go to the toilet in his helmet and then send it to the policeman's grieving widow and then steal it again. Downloading films is...
She didn't appear to be grieving all that
If you
much,
do
to be
it,
honest.
you will face the consequences.
Oh my god!
I like that it's the FBI and this is a British show.
It's getting really mean.
I think we're sitting too close to the screen, and the floor's all sticky over here.
All right. Okay, let's move back then.
He's just a silencer.
Man, that's something else.
Okay, so as part of the so the BBC is the one authorized to enforce it, and the BBC is authorized to carry out surveillance using powers defined by the Regulation of Investigatory
Oh my god!
Powers
Please
Act.
tell me that the BBC has their own police force and like an NSA
You know who they're probably
equivalent.
most likely
they
going
are
after is pubs.
They are permitted by the order to use surveillance equipment to detect unlicensed use of television receivers. So
and
there
they're
you go.
most likely going after pubs and different places that public businesses and places that have televisions in them. They're like, hey, we see TVs here. Are you paying your taxes?
Man, this is crazy.
And then if they see like, oh wow,
Why would they even need to ask? Why wouldn't they just go in and be like, oh, you're not on our list. Boom, hit you with a fine.
well they do, but they dress up in disguises and then they serve them.
I mean,
real
I
good.
still think that this like I don't know how like it's enforced or like you make sure. I mean, I know you just said it, Blaine, but I don't know how it's done in practice. Like we have a lot of rules like that, but like there's a lot of stuff you could just do and no one will ever know unless like you're being really brazen about it.
Silas, were you the one?
I mean,
that
I
was-
think you gotta have to remember that places like the UK are not they are basically a surveillance state to begin with.
Are they?
I
I mean, I understand like the okay, yeah, sure, but I mean,
he's dressed up in disguise. Silas, were you with me the day? Were you a pretty young guy when the game warden came up to me and flashed his badge and said, "Show me your fishing license"? And I said, "You're on your own, boys," and toss you the poles and jump in the water. Wasn't that? Do you remember that?
No.
wait,
They
what?
will. So they will also, in fact, do home visits if they suspect that you are stealing.
The
Yeah.
BBC does have their own police force.
Yep, they do.
Like the Pope has his own army. or
The big bad
security force.
coppers.
So wait, you ran away from the fish and game warden?
No. I joked with you guys. I said because the guy walked up to us and said, "Hey, what's biting today?" When he said people in disguise, and I'm like,
Oh.
"Well, I don't know, whatever." And he's like, he does this, and he goes, "Show me your license." And I was like, "Whoa!" And I said, "If that happens again, I'm going to toss you guys the poles and jump in the water and swim across the lake because you're on your own, boys."
You gotta be careful about that. Water moccasins. They'll get
I know
you.
all about this. My grandfather and I believe 2 of his sons got caught not pole fishing without a license, but net fishing without a license on the Missouri River, and they got basically slaps on the wrist and a little bit of a fine. And Grandpa got a 3-year or a 5-year ban from fishing at all, and his fine was larger.
I got they take your pole away and all that stuff. I was out hand fishing once, and
God damn it!
All right,
You're
so it gets even better, Matt. So a
Fucking
TV license, they have people called TV license inspectors, and they will send them out to addresses, and the household will be regarded as a potential suspect until proven otherwise. In such circumstances, the household is effectively the subject of a criminal investigation until they resolve it.
Bro!
I think you might be stealing TV.
You're guilty
How-
until proven innocent.
How did the BBC get so much power? Like, talk about
What's
like,
BBC stand for?
big bad cops.
British Broadcasting Company.
I doubt that. I'm sure we can come up with something that reflects this more accurately.
Can you imagine if like NBC or PBS showed up? Like PBS is the closest we have. Can you imagine if PBS showed up to your house and was like, "You have to allow us entry to your residence. We believe."
Yeah, well,
that you
considering their
might-
programming, I think it would really suck if they did that.
we are believing that you are guilty right now until you prove
Won't
yourself
you be
innocent.
my neighbor.
I mean, like Showtime or HBO, that might be, and we'd be like,
They'd
okay,
get
I get
shot.
it.
Isn't
You
like,
wouldn't steal a baby.
like cops can't even do that here. They can't presume you guilty and make you prove your innocence. Like they can in such way as like
There's
if they
no
show
TV here.
if they
I
show
don't
up with a
believe
search
you.
warrant,
Prove it.
like they've gone to a
Prove
judge
no TV.
and given what evidence they have to believe that you may be harboring something or have something illegal, but they have to go to a judge and get a warrant.
Not in the UK.
And then if they don't,
throw you in
and then if
jail
they
for
don't
life.
find any, like how do you prove your own innocence on something like that? Like
I don't
the
have
burden of
TV,
proof
prove
has
it.
to be on the accuser.
I think that you hit it under the floorboards. Pull them up.
Like
Nope, not there. I meant in the ceiling. Tear it
Like-
down.
Like they come into your house with a presumption of guilty until
can't-
you prove that you're innocent.
You can't tax me for
Basically.
the magic
But
mirror.
how would you do that? That's like the Amazon support rep saying,
Not
"Please
even
take
a
a
TV."
picture. Please take a picture proving you did not receive the package." I literally cannot do that for you.
Wasn't there a
Like,
TV?
I can
There was a
take
flat
photo
screen.
and give it to you.
There was a flat screen TV that looked like a mirror, didn't it?
I
that was
watched
You
a
know,
guy.
you know, if I ever
I
get an
watched a
Amazon
guy
support
do that one
person,
time. He was it was a UK guy, and he was they wrote him a parking ticket, and he said, "I don't deserve this parking ticket." And they said, "Well, you need to provide proof that you weren't parking there." And he was like, "Okay," and he just took a picture of the sign with no car, and he's like, "See, my car's not there."
I vaguely remember
Oh
this.
my god.
It's like, how do you prove this
And he
shit?
got out
My
of it.
favorite version of this kind of shit is like skirting like broadcast law stuff. Hold on, I feel like Blaine just saw something different, but let me finish this first. So there's a guy, Silas, I don't know if you've seen this, that Twitch streamed like a UFC fight or a boxing match,
Okay.
but he put it on like green screen behind him or whatever, and held a controller the whole time and just pretended like he was playing UFC 20 whatever and got away with it.
Oh, amazing.
Like he streamed the whole match to people for free and just pretended like he was playing, and he's reacting like he's like not like he's playing, like he was reacting like he was kind of like he was badly pretending. Like he was just watching the UFC match, just holding a controller and like pretending. But anyway, what did you find, Blaine, that made you like lean?
Oh, so okay. So apparently the TV inspectors cannot enter your home, but if you
Okay.
refuse to enter and you refuse them entry and they still have liable cause, they can go get a search warrant and they will then come back and show up with the police. And if
That's
you
fine.
refuse, and if you refuse to give your name, the police will arrest you to establish your identity.
That's fine. I have no
So-
problem with that stuff. I don't think, because they went and got the search warrant. Like they went to a judge.
So here's the
Although
thing.
presumably they have to
leave
provide.
go get the
No,
search warrant,
no,
and they have
they don't
somebody
have-
sit outside your house to make sure that you're not carrying a big plasma out to be like, "Whoa, don't
No,
have the
the
TV."
but,
search
it's not
warrant-
but it's not the television that's the problem.
The search warrant doesn't need to be
Yeah, the
certified
television
by
itself
the
is the pro-
judge. The
you can
search
have a
warrant is
TV.
certified. The search
It's
warrant
just
is certified by the manager or the director or whatever at the BBC.
Oh, it's not done by a judge.
Just
Also,
BBC issues
They
the search
don't
warrant.
have. Do they even have judges in the UK? Aren't they like magistrates?
They work for the
Sure.
BBC.
Man, the BBC
Solicitor.
runs that fucking country.
Now you're understanding.
How did they get so much power, man? This is a case study in how to grab and keep power.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
I give the BBC 2 thumbs up. They
I
play a
wouldn't
lot
be
of
su-
Star Trek.
I give TV
I wouldn't be
taxes,
so
2 thumbs
surprised.
down.
Just wait till they start coming here and enforcing their bullshit here. The BBC shows up at your fucking house in the US. They do it in Texas, a stand your ground state, and immediately get their head blown off.
I don't know. They play a lot of Star Trek. I'm happy with them.
I'm gonna go with a thumbs down for ads on GeForce Now.
Is that what we were talking about?
I'm gonna give a thumbs up to the BBC stuff. After all this, I really like where their heads are at.
I like thumbs up for ads, thumbs up for free games, thumbs up for.
Why are we talking
for
about
America.
GeForce Now?
Thumbs up for a mystery topic.
All right, we're gonna blast through the rest of these topics then. The first one being Brian's favorite topic, which is Honda has built a powered chair that allows you to do virtual theme parks.
Hell yeah!
Oh, this is not a bad idea.
Yeah, is it not?
They have a chair that you can wear a AR headset on, and you can drive around a theme park while wearing this.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
It sounds like Matthew Broderick. Okay, you're not actually riding rides in this chair. You're actually pedaling and going around the park.
It's more like a wheelchair,
It's more like a wheelchair, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rascal or something.
I think I saw these like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I give a thumbs up. I love virtual first class.
You know, it wasn't virtual then; it was just a giant screen in front of you. But it's the same thing. That's it. That's something. I'm gonna say I don't know how to vote. I'm gonna say thumbs sideways.
I'm gonna go with thumbs down for it. I don't know why, but I don't know.
Pedaling those things are pretty boring because you can pedal 100 miles an hour and it still goes the same slow speed.
Is it
something that doesn't go slow?
Yes.
Is a Lamborghini, because new Lamborghinis are going to start measuring your heart rate while you drive your car around a track.
Oh, brother, thumbs down.
Who didn't want to know that?
I have a watch on that can tell me that.
You can do that with a watch. I really hope they do it with
Are you having a cardiac event? No, I'm just driving in a Lamborghini. Okay.
Are they going to do it in the same way that Mr. Garrison powered his vehicle, where you have to sit down on a big dildo in the seat, and that's how it measures the heart rate?
That's what she said.
I mean, they just referred
that's what she said. I
to.
said sit down on a big dildo.
That's
Oh
what
yeah,
she
they
said.
tax you on those
You
too.
have to wear
It's not a
a
euphemism; it's a directism.
wearable
That's what she
device.
said.
You have to wear a what now?
It's a wearable device. is what
Okay,
they
so it's a
call it.
watch.
That's what she said.
Okay, this is stupid. Thumbs down. Next topic. Fuck that.
Wearable
You can
device.
you can do this already.
Why don't
Yeah,
they
but it's
wear
gonna say
it- just put the app
Lamborghini
in the
on
Apple
it, and
store
people
and
are
the
gonna be-
Android store, and you can wear it on.
God. Lamborghini.
Yeah,
thumbs
thumbs
down
down.
for sure.
It's probably just a Bluetooth heart rate monitor, and that's all it is.
Of course
so
it is.
thumbs
What
down.
the fuck else would it be?
Well, it certainly isn't a piece of pizza that plays music, because that's what the new metal band Belushi Speedball has released their new single on.
Like Jim Belushi?
Yep,
On a piece of pizza?
they have released it on a piece of pizza.
What?
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
alive! It's alive!
Is it Gene Wilder?
Yeah. This pizza
I don't understand what you're talking about.
plays music.
So they have a piece. So basically, what they did is they have a piece of pizza that they have preserved in resin, and it has
Oh.
a tiny speaker with a play button on it, and it will play their new single.
Okay.
But won't let me share.
The best part is you can get the pizza in Detroit or New York style. So if you want to have a,
I'm gonna say thumbs down.
What if I want St. Louis style?
I'm going thumbs down because I don't offer a Chicago style.
This is
I'm gonna
wild.
say thumbs up because I've always wanted my pizza to sing to me for my
Sure.
entire life.
I mean, I'm assuming it's got batteries in there. What happens when the batteries run out?
It stops working.
I mean, that's
She said.
unfortunate.
Did you say that's what she said when he said what happens when the batteries run out?
That's what
Stop.
she said.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna move on to our billionaire pitches for the week.
I got one.
God. For who?
I would like
Is
Taylor
it for
Swift.
Taylor Swift? Of course it is. I knew it.
I would like Taylor Swift to write the new theme song for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice.
That's nice.
But she has to break up with Travis first, so it gets to be a real.
No.
It gets
No.
to be. It gets to be. Oh, I forgot. You guys are probably Chiefs fans and are like super into this. it needs to be so it can be even spicier. We want that spicy theme song.
Bazinga!
I have one. Oh, I think that's a great idea, Silas. I like
Nice.
it. Thumbs up.
Yes. Got a thumbs up. That's what
Okay.
I'm always going
What
for.
do you got?
I
Brian?
would like a billionaire to make a pipeline from this moon outside of Jupiter to help bring fresh water to dry areas on Earth, like deserts.
Holy fucking
Yeah,
shit!
but
this
is
gonna be
moon
the
water really
craziest
drinkable?
pipe? We're gonna pipe it to here.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna need a ton of that flexi conduit from Home Depot. I don't think we can get enough. There's no way.
Are you happy? I didn't. At least I didn't say that. I wanted a virtual pipe. I want a real pipe.
I don't
from
think you don't need a
Jupiter
billionaire,
moon
Brian. You need a
to
like quintillionaire.
Let me
or
show you
something.
the direction.
Trillionaire.
Last time I
what's
checked-
How far away is it?
How do we know
That's
it's fresh water, Brian?
Matt, how far away is it?
Shit. How far is what?
How far is it from Jupiter to Earth?
Real goddamn far.
And this is a directional Geiger thingy.
509 million miles.
Silas
we
showed me
don't
this
know
the
how-
other day again. He pulled it out and was like, "There's the center of the Milky Way." And I was like, "Oh shit, it hasn't moved."
And it's 26,000 light years away.
We were clear across town too. At the movie theater, and he pulled it. And
I love it.
Still pointing.
And no matter where we are on Earth, it's still 26,000 light years away.
Fucking wild. That's why I want that developer to like. I really want to know whether they just hard coded where it points, or whether like 5 million years from now I can whip it out and it will be pointing a different direction.
It probably will be
That's
that
what
long
she
from
said.
now.
That doesn't make any sense.
You could whip it out and it's still pointing in the same direction.
My bad. You are correct.
I heard that. In 5 million years from now, it probably won't be pointing the same direction.
Will the Viagra's still around?
Oh,
what she
please
said.
end this broadcast.
Next.
Well, my pitch is
Podcast.
for a billionaire to come up with a new toilet that has a vacuum on it, so that when you flush, it pulls a vacuum, so it doesn't spray shit all over your bed.
I hope it's not too powerful.
I mean, we
Suck you
just
right in.
need like. Surely they make lids that
Sure.
seal completely, right? Like
I'm
they
not
just
aware
have
of it.
Surely
they
they do.
just have like a
Sure they
rubber
do.
grommet
It's
that
not
seals
sure
it.
they-
Like if you did that, that would pull a vacuum, wouldn't it? Would it even flush properly if it?
If it was sealed once you shut the lid.
I love this idea.
I'm not sure that such a toilet seat seal thing exists.
I'm guessing that it couldn't. Could it flush? Somebody,
It
somebody,
might-
give me physics or fluid
It
dynamics
might
here.
break
Would
the
it?
lid.
Would it be able to flush with a tight seal around
That,
the top?
let me text
Where's
somebody that I
Mythbusters?
think would know.
You got a real poop professional on speed dial, Brian?
I do.
Hell yeah! What are you gonna ask? How are you gonna phrase it?
I'm gonna say
If a toilet
Right.
lid formed a perfect seal around the rim, so that
If
it
a
was
toilet lid formed a perfect seal around the lid, would the toilet be able to flush?
how about can a toilet flush in a vacuum?
There does not appear to be a standard answer here. So
no, we're not looking for can it flush in a vacuum. We're looking can it flush
if you've
if
sealed
if you seal it and it pulls a vacuum on itself when flushing. I wouldn't think so.
Let's test it out.
Well, no, because the tank is not like the tank itself is
The
not
tank's still-
airtight.
yeah.
So
I think that it probably would still flush.
yeah, probably.
You wouldn't need necessarily a perfect seal. You need just some kind of seal.
Well,
because
I'm
it's
not
just
worried
an
about the
air
seal
gap.
anymore if like the air and all that stuff can just come via the non-sealed reservoir, which is the tank.
I bet you could just get your some sort of stuff on the other underside of that.
See,
You
this
can
is
get
why I
something
didn't
that
do
would
so
sit
hot
down.
in physics.
I'm sure you could do it.
Yeah, I love this idea. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right, Matt, you got a pitch for us?
No, I'm just very interested in this poo pressure question.
All right, next week find out the answer to will a toilet explode if you seal it?
Once we get the answer from Brian's poop professional.
Yeah, Brian will have
Nothing
to report
yet.
out next week.
I'll report out next week.
All right, cool.
All right, with that, the council meeting is adjourned. Thank you for listening
Exhausting.
as we do record this podcast.
Wait, Matt, do you have
live
any,
Tuesday nights on
pitches?
YouTube.
No, he already asked.
He already said
Oh, okay.
no.
I said no.
If you liked what you saw and want to check out all past episodes, you can go to councilcast.org or find us on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. If you have a topic you would like the council's decision on, or if you know the answer to the ceiling poop toilet question, email us at idon'tcare@councilcast.org. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye.
Wow, that was a lot.